Hello students, welcome to the session. I am Mr. M.H. Mota, Assistant Professor, Civil Engineering. Today's session is on special types of walls. The outcome of this session. At the end of this session, you will be able to understand some special types of masonry constructions like cavity walls, composite walls and grouted masonry walls. Let's see them in detail. Now walls, as we are aware, walls are the most essential components of building. Rather, without wall, no building can be constructed. The primary function of this element is to enclose or divide the space of the building to make it more functional and useful. Walls provide privacy, afford security, and give protection against various elements like heat, cold, sun, etc. Walls may be either load-bearing or non-load-bearing. All these details we already have learned in our previous sessions. So let's try to understand some very special kind of walls. Those are even though not conventionally used but are more than handful to know. So we will start with cavity walls. The name itself suggests that such kind of walls consist of cavity. Cavity walls are constructed for facing and backing width of either solid or hollow masonry units completely separated by a continuous air gap. These walls are then connected with the help of wall ties or horizontal joint reinforcement. So these are the walls in which we actually construct the two thinner walls which are entirely separate, but they consist of certain hollow space in between and they behave monolithically as these walls have been connected with the help of certain connecting elements. Those connecting elements are wall ties or horizontal reinforcement. The major advantage of such cavity walls are that these are something which enhances the thermal insulation property of a wall. This space also acts as a barrier against water penetration. So these things are more than handful in a condition where the dampness or moisture entry through the wall is major issue. This figure indicates the cavity wall. In this figure, it is quietly visible that this particular wall consists of two separate thinner walls. The general thickness of these two walls are half brick, and in combination of these two, the overall thickness will be more than one brick, as these two walls have been separated with the help of a certain cavity. This cavity should be at least of 2 inches or 50 mm in size. These walls consists of weep holes at bottom. These help to drain out the water which is been trying to penetrate inside through the outer section or outer wall elements. In between that, we even can introduce certain flashing material. Now just try to understand with the help of this figure the connection between this. These two separate elements in the figure shown have been connected with the help of a certain wall tie. This wall tie is used to make these two separate elements connected with each other, and they act monolithically as a one wall. This figure is showing some another type of connection methodology in which we use certain kind of reinforcement or other elements which are more than useful to connect two separate walls in between which a certain cavity has been created. This figure is very easy to understand, and this figure is also showing some specific type of the cavity wall in which in between two walls along with a certain connection material, the certain insulation material has been introduced. This insulation material is much more helpful in maintaining the temperature. Even without such insulation material, such kind of walls act much more sophisticatedly and superiorly to maintain the temperature. In between that, even though only air gap is there, then air, being a bad conductor of heat, can maintain the temperature difference inside and outside. So when we use cavity walls, in summer they remain cooler as they won't allow the heat from outside to come inside very easily, while in winter they prevent the internal temperature by not allowing to lose the temperature in the interaction of external part of the wall. Next is composite wall. Composite walls are constructed from two or more building materials. Here the building material means the different structures or the masonry units as such. So these are constructed with the help of more than one material. Facing and backing of such walls are constructed with either different classes of material or different types of material. So in this we can have the different material in combination, or we can have the similar material of different classes like the rubble masonry and ashlar masonry, which are different classes of material by which it has been made up, and then we can have something like composite wall. Let's try to understand the different possible combinations. So first combination is the facing of stone and backing of concrete. In this, the facing or the external part of a wall is made up of fine stone masonry, while the backing is made up of concrete blocks or the simple concrete. Second possible combination is the facing of stone and backing of brick. This kind of combination is more useful when we are trying to make the building much more attractive from outside, and as we are aware that the stone masonry always provides us much superior view, while internally we can have a brick masonry which will be helpful to have a very finished surface inside. Next combination is facing of ashlar masonry and backing of rubble masonry. In this again, the external face is made up of ashlar masonry, which is giving us a very good and superior look, while inside this we can have the rubble masonry, which is comparatively inferior in look and costing even is much lesser. Then comes the facing of ashlar masonry and backing of brickwork. In this we can have a very good look from outside, while backing work is done with the brickwork, which is once again much easy to construct, and the surface of that can be very superiorly finished as compared to the stone masonry. This kind of work is very much used nowadays in case of construction of the temples, where externally we provide it a very classical look using the stone or ashlar masonry, while inside that we generally provide a very good finished surface on which the good surfacing can be done, and it can be economical too. Next is facing of brickwork and backing of rubble masonry. In this kind of work we use a very good finished surface from outside, while inside that we have the comparatively inferior look in terms of constructing the rubble masonry. Last is facing of brickwork and backing of hollow concrete blocks. This kind of work is even much more useful in achieving certain specific goals, like having the finished surface and stronger external surface, while inside it can be hollow concrete block. These figures are showing certain combinations. So first part shows the rubble wall with brick backing, in which the external surface is made up of stone masonry, while internal is made up of brick masonry. In this we can have some classical rough tooled brickwork, stonework outside and the brickwork inside. Second shows the ashlar with brick backing, in which the construction methodology will be a bit different than in previous case. Here the ashlar masonry will be constructed outside, and Accordingly, the internal brickwork is done. The major difference between having a rubble facing and ashlar facing are the course height externally and internally. Third is showing the ashlar with rubble backing, in which the front face has been made much more superior with the help of ashlar masonry, while internally the surfacing as well as the material used is of a certain inferior quality. The major advantages of such composite masonry. First thing, it gives attractive appearance. The structure can be much more durable. Decorative effect can be produced, and major advantage is that total cost can be reduced as compared to a conventional methodology. The third is grouted masonry wall. Grouted masonry wall is a special type of wall, have all interior joints filled and tally with ground as the work progress. The grout used to consolidate the adjoining material into a solid mass, and it is a fluid Portland cement mortar that will flow easily without segregation of the ingredients. So this figure shows the grouted masonry wall, in which in the first part of figure we can see that the external and internal surfacing has been done with the help of a certain type of building masonry units, and internally that particular part has been strengthened with the help of reinforcement and the certain mortar in it. In second case, we can see that the horizontal reinforcement can be used so that these two external walls or external parts even can be connected. This shows the grouted cells in which we use the bond beams or the hollow blocks. So that's it for this session. Hope that you have understood the concept of some special type of masonry work. So let's meet in next session to know more. So thank you for having me and your patience learning. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.